How well does Sony's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse film compare to the 2014 Spidey-verse comic? The new Spidey-verse film was inspired by Dan Slott's Spidey-verse comic in 2014, and the film includes a bunch of talented people, including Shamik Moore as Miles and Haley Steinfeld as Spider-Gwen. So, like, if you don't know this film is a simple concept as a whole. It brings together a lot of people, mainly the Spider people, well, pretty much the Spider people from over the different realities to fight one bad guy. Fisk is obviously this case. Last time, the bad guys were the Inheritors. He wanted to basically take over the multiverse because they thought they were all powerful, and kill all the Spidey people. But not in this one. Fisk basically the whole thing is Fisk wanting to bring back his family. And, he builds a machine that could tear a hole in space and time, destroy the multiverse, therefore killing all the Spider people. Boom. Stuff. So obviously, over a long period of time, Marvel have made many different adaptations of the Spider-Man hero. For example, 2099 Spider-Man, or we can go all the way back to 1939 Spider-Man, who has no idea what colour is, aka Spider-Man Noir. We've also had like animal adaptations of Spider-Man, so Spider-Ham or Peter Parker, depending on what you want to call him, who was bitten by a radioactive pig. Yeah, it's weird, but he was bitten by a radioactive pig. Knowledge, guys. So, Dan Slott's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse comic in 2014 was a celebration for all the Spider-Men/women that had ever been created. Though he didn't have the rights for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but there were hints to say that they were there in that comic. But with a new film, the two things that it gives us that really didn't. It gives an origin story for Miles and shows us a lot more about the central hero and what this event's caused him to do, which is obviously become Spider-Man, which he never thought he could do before. Secondly, it shows the general people who watch the movies that there's a whole bunch more than just you have your main MCU Spider-Man, which is Tom Holland at the moment. You have your Miles Morales. There's a much more. There's a whole multiverse out there. And it also gives movie creators and directors a chance to bring more of these and collaborate with more of these together and bring them to the big screen. But obviously that needs to be scaled down to the more popular and well-known the Spider people, because you can't just have about 50 Spider-Man on one screen and not know who half of them are. That's why Miles has become such a big character since the Spider-Man game. You've seen a lot more people talking about him. Before that, you didn't really hear people talk about it, and that's obviously one of the main reasons they brought into this, because they knew Miles Morales. They need to bring more of him, and that's what people want to see, more of Miles. And that's the most noticeable difference from the comic, is the far fewer Spider people. And honestly, in my opinion, I think this was a good choice. We don't want too many Spider people clattering up the screen, cluttering the grounds around it, making it look messy, make just a bunch of people swinging around, looking like idiots in costumes. It's better with just a few of them who are well known, who are funny, who are obviously, it was a good film. It was an amazing film. I'd give it an easy 9.5 out of 10. So now talking a bit about the characters. In the film, we have Miles Morales, who is a secondary or tertiary student. And we have Slott's big-time Spider-Man, who is quickly killed off after he has achieved fame and is well-known, has a girlfriend, Mary Jane. Obviously, there's more to this in the old other comics, where they have a child, blah, 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 blah. But he's quickly killed off and replaced by the other dimension Spider-Man, who looks like he's very about to give up. He lost Mary Jane, and he's living on his own, and he's very fat, as you see in the film. We also have the Spider-Gwen, who's quite popular from the film, and quickly befriends Miles. But anyone else notice a spark, a little connection between them? Then we have Spider-Ham, Spider-Noir, and Penny Parker. All cool characters, but it'll be a lot longer to this video. I don't want to make this video too long. It'll be a lot longer if we wanted to explain all of them. So each character was treated differently, as in the way they were rendered and made, because obviously the different dimensions were very clearly represented in the animation style. Like Peter Parker, Spider-Ham, had a very much more cartoonish style than Penny Parker, who had a more futuristic, clean look to her, like Miles did. But overall, the whole film is a collage style, so it's bits put together. and the animation team made it work perfectly, and they made an awesome job out of it, and it was not a mess. It was perfect the way they animated it. Each character was treated differently and independently, and nothing looked the same or was repeated too much. So now talking about like the enemies in the film. So the original comic had the enemies were called the Inheritors, and they called themselves the Masters of the Universe in quotation marks. Whereas in Sony's Spider-Man, the enemy is Kingpin and Dr. Octopus, who is a female in this. And they tried to bring Kingpin's family back, and this all takes place in Miles' dimension. And just like the post-credit scene, it hints that it could have brought down the multiverse, but it didn't. And that's what 2099 Spider-Man and another Doctor is talking about it, as he gets given a gizmo that allows him to hop between different dimensions. And as we see, it goes to like a really old cartoon Spider-Man, and they're pointing at each other and stuff. It's kind of weird, but we're gonna deal with it. That's obviously we obviously know that Sony has already confirmed a sequel to this film and a female spin-off, which will probably include Spider-Gwen, definitely the female Doc Ock. Because she was pretty cool in the film. Sony and like Marvel are taking a big, huge hit on making female leads, just like with Black Widow. They've finally given her a solo film. I think I've heard something anyway. But we all know that Spider-Man has always been the most popular Marvel character, and from this film, this could be a launch pad for a whole series of animated Spider-Man films, diving deeper into the multiverse. Along with you've got like Venom and the mainstream MCU Spider-Man, which is Tom Holland. If there is a sequel, we could possibly see the introduction to all the other heroes of Spider-Man 2099 that has a device that allows him to jump between dimensions. So all in all, my whole comparison of this film is they are similar, but they're not the same, if you get what I mean. The villains are different, which I like. They've separated the villains. The characters have been reduced a lot, which is good because we don't want a big clutter of spider people swinging around, obviously. I know this video's a bit longer, but there was a lot more information to get through. And I could have gone into a lot more detail with half of this. As you can see, I'm scrolling through the page here. But yeah, that was my comparison of Spider-Man's 2018 Spider-Man Into Spidey-verse and 2014's Dan Slott's comic event. I hope you did enjoy. Subscribe for more videos in the new year. Christmas is soon. Goodbye.